And I couldn't. I have to mention this game. Offaly obviously beating Meath. You're
The old mate boy. The old mate boy.
what?
Slated me on the Sunday game many's a night, and personally slated me. And I remember one newspaper column he wrote as well that I always sort of look back on and chuckle and think, not as easy as it looks, Colin, is it? And the thing about it is, it's
What
okay.
was he? Sorry, what was he saying over you? What was
He's
it?
just a negative coach and all sorts of
Okay,
nonsense
okay, okay,
and
okay.
the team set up and blah 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 and usual old tripe that you would listen to. Well, I stopped listening to it because you don't listen to it anymore. It's fucking
Yeah.
impossible to listen to. But usual old tripe that you would have to listen to. Like, and listen, as I said before in this show as well too, and there's a distinct difference between playing and managing. A distinct difference, right? So as a player, one of the greatest of all time, a fantastic footballer, unquestionably, unquestionably immortality in his own county as a player. No one can ever take that away from Colin. No one can ever take that away from him, right? But managing is a completely different game. Playing, you're delivering a pass. In coaching and managing, you're delivering a message. And first and foremost, the players have to fucking believe in your message. And if the message is completely against the fucking grain and, a complete, you know, naivety in the way
Yeah.
you play, players are going to lose fucking belief very, very quickly in that.
Yeah.
The first thing you need to do, Enda, the first thing you need to do, and Conor Lavery's done it with Down, make your team fucking competitive. Make them competitive for fuck's sake, and don't have them sitting out, hanging out to dry, and taking beatings and taking wallopings like Meath did, and that's something that result didn't shock me. It didn't shock me. Delighted for
Yeah.
Offaly.
I think we called it. I actually think we called
Yeah,
it the
yeah,
last set.
and I'm delighted. I'm delighted for Offaly in particular.
Yeah.
I'm delighted for the players, particularly after the tragedy of Liam Kearns, Lord rest him. But delighted for them, because it's probably give them all a big, well needed boost in the county. After such a really, really tough couple of months for them.
So, like, obviously, yeah, we're saying, like, where's it, like, after the game, obviously, Colin was quite frank in his assessment that we're here, we're in the Tailteann Cup, and that's where we deserve to be. And I just thought again it was very negative in terms of uh,
Yeah,
just his interview. I to be honest with you, I can't. McEntee got an awful lot of abuse in Meath, Andy McEntee, and like he had them,
yeah,
he got them to the last eight, but like he took a lot of abuse. So yeah,
yeah,
it'd be interesting in terms of how long they'll give Cullum here in terms of like
yeah.
usually we said this before the first year there has to be some kind of some small percentage of improvement going in the right
And I
direction.
don't see. This is the thing I'm saying to you. I don't like in every team. I can see a foundation being built and down, for
Yeah.
example, right? You see a little bit of foundation, right? They have a long way to go, and the lads that are over the group will know that, right? They have a long way to go. I can see a little bit of what Andy is trying to do in Antrim. Okay, now they haven't had a huge amount of success, but you can see new managers trying to great stuff, right? You could see what the likes of, for example, Tony McEntee was trying to do in Sligo, and it's obviously come to the fore now. It's taken a bit of time, right? But you can see it. You can see it, right? And you're just looking and you're just thinking to yourself, like, I cannot see anything with me. Like, I just see a naivety in their play. I see a stupidity in the way they're setting up against certain teams. And it just seems like, man, like the way they played against Dublin, he should have been chased out the gate for that. He should have been chased out the gate for that to go in against Dublin. That and it was embarrassing, like, and it was embarrassing for the players, embarrassing for the supporters, their families sitting watching that. To see a group of lads just being hung out to dry. He talks about all these new debutants and all these new players and all these. That's great. Well, give the lads a chance. Give them some form of a game plan that's actually going to make them competitive and give the lads a bit of belief. I'll tell you one thing: they won't win the Tailteann Cup. They will not win the Tailteann Cup. 100% Meath will not win the Tailteann Cup. I'll be shocked if they're in the final. That's the truth.
you always know when a manager's in trouble when he goes on about the debutants and the transition period.
And here, Meath has a lot of good. Meath have had some really good underage teams coming through in the last
Yeah,
few.
yeah, yeah.
They have. They
100%. Meath have some really good players, Jimmy, but
I was down to Meath. I was down to Meath. I think it was about 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago or 2 years ago down at the training centre, and I took a coach education session with their under 20s. And I'll tell you this now, they were mighty impressive and a real good bunch of athletic, strong, because Meath always have that athleticism
Yeah.
and strength and power in their footballers, and it's disappointing to see because Meath, you talked about Down, like obviously Down have a great history and a great tradition. Meath are the exact same. You need your Meaths competing. Like people talk about Leinster and Dublin and the dominance over the last 13 years. But a large part of that is because probably the likes of Meath and Kildare, haven't stepped up. It's all right talking about Wicklow and Charlow and and Waterford and these, Waterford, not their Wicklow or whatever, and
Yeah.
Wexford and these counties.
Yeah.
These counties aren't going to get to that level, but Meath and Kildare can. They've got the resources, they've got the playing pool, they've got the history, they've got the tradition, and that's something that those counties need to be back. They need to be back at the top table. Like, they need to be.
We're saying this now for a long time, Stevie. Like, but it's
Yeah.
fucking it's getting to a stage now. Like, they haven't been.
I'm going to throw something at you, right?
Go on.
I'm going to throw something at you. Jack Cooney. I don't think Westmeath this year have been as good under Dolan, right? I don't think Desi Dolan is nowhere near as good a manager as Jack Cooney, right? Jack Cooney was a brilliant manager. Jack Cooney maximised Westmeath's resources, right? Made them competitive, got them to Division 2, right? They were taking scouts in the championship. Look at what Mickey Hart and Gavin Devlin have done with Louth. You know what they've done? They've got a group well conditioned and well organised. That's the only two things they've done. They've been well conditioned and well organised. And like, it's amazing what you can achieve when you have that. When you have that as your foundation, just be organised and be well conditioned. And then you've got your Stardust with the likes of your Sam Mulroy and Burns and these guys, and they've pulled a few rough diamonds, the likes of big Conor Grimes and guys like that as well. So they have a wee bit of, obviously they have a lot of quality, but they're organised. That's the big thing. They have organisation and they have a game plan. They have a kick-out strategy. Start with the basics, And when you make those gains, the world's your oyster, like. Your quality then comes through in the end, and you'll probably see the likes of probably why Davy has done so well with Roscommon, because he installed a reasonably good game plan in them. He give them a template which is going to make them fucking competitive. That's all you want. And then you have your little bit of Stardust with your Kieran Murray, your Ben O'Carroll, your Enda Smiths. Those will win you the games. Those boys will win you games, But Jesus Christ, make yourself organised. Like, and Louth are an absolute credit for the pool of players they're from, the size of the county, and that's the thing. Like, if a Louth club team went to play a Meath club champions, you would expect the Meath club to beat them comfortably, or the Kildare club. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's a perfect case study of what can be achieved when you have a decent management setup, you have an experienced group behind the team, and you're organised, structured, and welcome.
Is Jack Cooney with anyone now, Stevie, or is he taking the year out?
Jack Cooney, unfortunately, is not with anybody. He can't be with anybody because he's taken a big role in Croke Park. And I was chatting to Jack actually before Christmas at the Ulster GA coaching conference, and I was asking him. He that's why he had to step away from Westmeath. He took a big role. I can't remember the exact title in Croke Park, but it's a games and coaching, I think, role. But Jack's a brilliant coach. That day he took the session, and straight away I said to a colleague of mine in school there that we were down, both of us went down just to sort of pick up a wee bit of coach edge over the winter. And I said to him straight away, you can see why Westmeath, we're so well organised and so good, because he's a really, really good coach, real good operator.